Hey Tamela and Brian, Chris here, owner of CMP Marketing and Design, and in this video I'm going to show you a few things that you guys can do yourselves to bring more customers into your business. And they work by putting your business right in the face of somebody searching for your services in the areas that you target. And the topics of today are going to be content, backlinks, and citations, and what they'll actually do for your business if you use these strategies. More specifically, how you could potentially get an additional, let's say 100 or 200 jobs every single month. And I know these numbers sound inflated, but I'll actually give you the breakdown on how they're found at the end of the video. So I'm going to teach you real quick how to do just that. And getting right into it, this is one of your biggest competitors, Bartlett Tree Experts. It's more of a directory, but it's also taken care of. These guys have locked down the digital marketing in your area, and they're getting a killing off of it. And I'm going to show you how they're doing it and actually how to beat them. So getting right into it, page content is made up of the words, the images, and text behind the images called alt text that make up a certain page on your site. You guys need, when you get a website, at least 1,500 to 2,000 words on your home page to be optimized with Google. And this is also going to give you a lot more opportunity to fill in with some buyer intent keywords that you're trying to rank and get business for. A buyer intent keyword is just a word or phrase somebody put into Google that indicates they're ready to buy your services. For example, if somebody was looking for a tree service expert in Augusta, Georgia, or tree services Augusta, Georgia, or anything along those lines. One, it's local, so you know it's going to be a local person. And two, they're looking for a tree expert, somebody that does tree services, probably because they need a job done, and they're looking to get a quote or somebody to just get right on it. And when you rank for these keywords, you come up first and get customers coming straight to you that are just ready to buy. Now, when it comes to content, it makes sense why Wikipedia is always at the top when you look for most things, because they have the most relevant and authoritative content, and Google rewards them for that. So in short, Google likes information, and in your content, you can strategically place keywords that tell Google exactly what terms you want your website to be put in front of when people search for it. This is why content is king, and it's the easiest and fastest way to rank for anything. And if you look at their front page, you can see they have a decent amount of content on here. This isn't by any means optimized, and it's not all that Google wants to see out of this business. So it's going to be easier, because they don't have authoritative content, to knock them out of this position when we do, right? Now, the second important thing when it comes to optimizing your online presence are backlinks. And a backlink is just another site linking to yours through theirs, either through text or through a clickable image. So to show you a little bit more, I'm going to go into a tool I use called Ahrefs that gives you the breakdown of the performance of a website. So if I clicked on this, for example, and it brought me up to their website, that's an example of this website sending their website a backlink. And the idea is that these links act like an endorsement of your website from other sites that Google uses to build trust in your business by seeing others vouch for you. It's almost just like a popularity contest where the person with the most wins. But not all backlinks are created equal. You want more powerful and relevant sites linking to you to show Google that you have more authority. So here's what I mean by relevant. If you have, let's say, tree service or even maybe even landscaping sites linking to you, that's going to do a lot more for you than a site like Pizza Hut for obvious reasons, right? So if you take a look at the number of backlinks that they have, this isn't an incredible amount. What they're doing is they're getting power because it's a directory site and they have so many pages and they're ranking in high positions in so many areas. This big 69 right here is the power of their entire website. This is the power of their homepage. So they might have some authoritative backlinks in here, but I doubt it because they only have 4 websites that are do follow sending them links, which means the do follow links are the only ones that actually send them power. So there's only 4 out of 16 that actually count. So let's say a quarter of these are actually working, but they're getting a lot of this juice per se from the actual domain itself that's leaking down into the homepage, giving it more power. And that's going to make it easier to rank too, because they don't have the authoritative backlinks and they don't have the authoritative content. So just because they have this larger 21 number doesn't mean that they can't be taken out very quickly and easily. So if you look at the backlinks they actually have, you can actually use this as a roadmap for yourself to find out what's making them successful, where they're getting their power from. You can actually duplicate it and just do it better than they do and then add more on there, because it's not reinventing the wheel. Google has certain algorithms that they want you to follow, just like tax incentives to get tax breaks. It works exactly the same way. So if you do what they want and you do more of it and you do it well, you're going to be up in that top position because you're doing what they want you to do. So let's take a look at some of their keywords that they're ranking for now. The cool thing about keywords is that they each have their own search volume. Every single area has their own keywords. So not only Augusta, but all of the surrounding areas, let's say Grovetown, Martinez, however you pronounce this, all of these different areas actually have their own keywords that you can capture and rank for as well. And I took the liberty of giving you a breakdown of the numbers in the end of the video and actually how many jobs you can expect from that. But let's take a look at a Google search now. The first thing you see here is going to be my favorite tool in the world, and this is the Google Map Pack, because many people go here first to find a business that fills their needs, and getting ranked in the top position means on average 40 to 50% more calls than top organic ranking alone. Now, I've had a lot of people tell me that they're actually getting double the amount of calls from this Google Map Pack, depending on what kind of area that they're in, than just their top organic ranking. So this is a huge tool that I recommend to everybody. All the volume that we're going to be seeing, add 40 to 50% on average to that. And that's a lot. That's a huge bang for your buck. Could you imagine you're already getting, let's say 20 jobs a month, and you did this and it immediately threw an extra 10 jobs a month on top of it? Just to use small numbers. Really, we're looking at the hundreds, but that's just an example. What gets you ranked here is having a stronger and a larger citation profile than your competitors. A citation is your business's name, address, and phone number as it's written on your Google Business profile submitted into directories such as Yelp and Yellow Pages. And there are a lot of other ranking factors, such as if you did, you would have to do some sort of management, create posts on your Google Business profile, make sure you optimize the page properly. There's some adjustments and optimization of the pictures, and every little thing counts. But your organic ranking and your citations are hands down the biggest things that are going to give you the most effects here. You could also rank in multiple areas all at once using the same Google Business profile if you do it right. So let's say you just set up in Augusta, but you're actually able to target North Augusta, this Graniteville, and all of these other surrounding areas because you have a properly optimized Google Business profile. So you're drawing in business from all these different locations rather than just people that are looking in Augusta. So once again, amazing tool right here. And it also captures all of those near me, nearby, near my area keywords that aren't captured by organic searches being a national keyword. And I don't want to confuse you, so let's go back into here, and I'm going to show you a good example of a national keyword. Jam tree and shrub, right? That's not location specific, meaning anybody across the entire United States could be looking at this, and they could be getting sent website traffic for that. Or even like Georgia, it's not a national keyword, but it is a statewide keyword, maybe not something that you want to target. So when people look up for, let's say, tree services, if they're looking up for tree services, but Google recognizes that they're in this area and you service this area and you're the top dog here, you're going to be put in front of that person because they're looking for tree services. Now, somebody on the other side of the country might show up down here, but that's not where they're going to go because they're on the other side of the country, obviously. So once your content, backlinks, and citations are all coming together and you're beginning to outgrow your competitors, here's what you might be looking at and why it's so worth it. So just off of a few of these buyer intent, tree removal, tree service, tree pruning keywords in Augusta, Georgia, here's what the total search volume looks like. 1,610 searches for these buyer intent keywords every single month. Now, on average, by getting leads this way, you can expect at least 5 to 10% of these leads turning into paying customers for you. So on average, 5 to 10% of this 1610, you're looking at 80 to 160 jobs on average per month using the SEO. And if you add the Google Business Profile strategy to that, you're adding 40 to 50%. So let's say 120 to 240 jobs every single month. I know this sounds insane, but these are legitimate numbers that are used industry-wide. And that's not including all of the other areas that's going to be taken over by your Google Business Profile. That's just these Augusta tree service, tree pruning, tree removal keywords that are going to be adding on that 40 to 50%. So it's probably going to be a lot more than that, to be honest. So this isn't all the keywords and it's not all the areas that you service, but this just shows you a little bit of what the numbers are and what you can expect. And how do we find these numbers? The average click-through rate of somebody in the top position of Google for a specific keyword is about 28.5%. 60 to 80% of those site visits from buyer intent keywords become hot leads, either call you or send you their information. And if your closing rate is about 50%, here's what those numbers look like for just the SEO. If you get 100 searches for buyer intent keywords, multiply that by 28.5, multiply that by 60 to 80%, you're looking at 17 to 22.8 jobs. Closing rate of 50%, you're looking at 8.5 to 11.4 deals closed on average per 100 searches of a buyer intent keyword in the top position. And I always lowball it at 5%, so that's just being the minimum, so nobody's ever disappointed and everybody's always ecstatic. But that's just what some of the numbers look like. And I'm not sure what your margins are, but if you multiply your average profit per job and the number of jobs you would get, even if we just rank for some of these keywords, what could you be making this year if you use these strategies? Pause the video real quick and do those numbers. So this is what I do for a living, and while this video is going to help you start generating a decent amount of revenue, if you want to step it up, go after larger areas, more keywords, go a little bit faster, have any questions whatsoever, shoot me an email back, or you can give me a call or text at 330-978-5004. We will just have a quick chat to find out exactly how much revenue you'd like to make, and I'll do the research to make sure that it's possible, how long it would take, and then we would talk from there. Either way, I would really appreciate at least a line of feedback, just so I know you got some value out of the video, and if I could have done or explained anything any better to you. Brian and Tamela, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.